Would you like to have weekends for yourself and for your family and do all the studying you need to do during the weekdays? Then this is your video. Wait, it's such nice weather outside. Let's go outside and we'll talk further there. So today I would like to share with you 5 ways that you can have more study time during the weekdays, so you have more time for yourself and for your family during the weekends. Let's get into it. So one of the easiest ways to get more study time during the weekdays is to get up earlier. And in order to get up earlier and don't feel exhausted, you have to get to bed a little bit earlier. Imagine going to bed at 10 in the evening. You can have 8 hours of sleep and get up at 6. And there are plenty of people who go to bed at 9 in the evening who get up at 5. And this is a really easy to uphold schedule. It could be difficult in the beginning to get up at 6 or 5, but once you let your body adjust to it and you take your time, let's say every day you get out of bed like 5 minutes earlier, you gradually adapt to it and it is easier for you. And here's an additional tip to getting up earlier. Make sure that you do some light reading in the evening. Because when you do some light reading in the evening, you will be able to fill your head with all your study information already, sleep over it, and then get back to studying early in the morning. So the last things that go into your head are the things that you're studying. I'm not saying that you should be reading a lot. No, you should be reading lightly. So just go over it and don't try to comprehend, don't even try to memorize. You just do some light reading before you go to sleep. So the second thing that you can do to get more study time is let others know that you want to study. This could be that you have your own study room and you take your time in your study room. Great. But what if you don't have a separate study room and you need some time to study? Well, let other people know that you are studying. Tell them, please don't distract me. I'm doing this for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then after that you can ask me anything again and I'm available. One very smart hack that I use a lot is I sit down at the family table with my study books and let my children at the same time study as well. This doesn't mean that they don't distract me. No, they may do that sometimes, but they know study time is study time, and you're setting the perfect example for your children to know that you are studying, and so should they. Smart study tactic number 3. Make sure that you study at work or around work. What do I mean with this? When you're at work and you have a break, let's say you have a 30-minute break or an hour lunch break, make sure that you do some light studying. 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. After all, this is probably stuff that you enjoy doing. You enjoy your study time. And by doing that, you save time that you can spend on other things during the weekend or in the evening. When there's no option of studying at work, what you can do is you can come in 10 minutes earlier and study in your car. Or what you can do is you can study in your car after work. Just take 10 minutes, read something, go over your notes, organize some information for writing an essay, all that kind of stuff. When you do that, you'll save time. And it's easy. It's just sitting there doing your light reading. One other thing that is very interesting to do is record your notes. Or you can use software that makes speech from your text notes. And when you do that, you simply listen to your notes at your way to work. The 4th time study hack would be this. Be smart with your time. Don't assume that you can study for like 1 or 2 or 3 hours at a time. When you do that, you will probably always be disappointed. Just make sure that you take your time and make it count. So don't aim for 1 time 60 minutes, but aim for 4 times 15 minutes. As I said before, 15 minutes at work perhaps, 15 minutes after work, 15 or 30 minutes before you go to work, so at home, by getting up earlier. And when you do that, you probably have your evenings available for some light reading or other things. But by doing this in small sessions, you can make sure that you can study smarter and more effective. And the beauty of this is, when you study this way, you will see that the moment you tell yourself, okay, this is study time, your brain will go into study mode. It won't be, okay, I have like 15 minutes, so probably I should be doing nothing the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then, oh, this is not going to work, there's only 5 minutes remaining. No, you say to yourself, I'm going to study for 15 minutes, and then you probably get into study mode rapidly, especially if you have the right study routine. And the last study tactic to getting more time to study is not to get more time, but to study smarter. Because the moment when you start studying smarter, you can get more done in the same time. So think about, for instance, study skills like smart reading or better use of your memory, taking smarter notes, or having instant focus when you want to study. When you learn these kind of skills, and they are skills so they can be learned, studying will become a lot easier. The next thing you should be doing is plan ahead. Don't just sit there and think, what would I be doing if I had time? No, you think, I must be doing this because I put it on my calendar. You know when you have your exam, you know when you have your essays due. So make sure that you plan ahead. Do your research, your writing, your editing, and then you turn your paper or your essay in. You do your reading, your memorizing, you do the assignments, and then you have your exams. Make sure that you plan ahead. And the last thing I want to tell you in this section is, make sure that you don't need motivation. Motivation is wonderful. It will get you over mountains, but it will not help you all the time. A habit is something that will help you all the time. So make sure that you create a habit of studying. And when you do that, when you make a habit out of studying, things will really change for you. Because studying as a habit enables you to get out of bed earlier, to do the studying just before work, to make sure that you show your kids that you are an example in this. Do that and you will be able to go for years with studying. So that's it. 5 ways to get more studying done during the week so you have your weekends for yourself and for your family. Make sure that you implement at least one of these. Personally, I would go for study skills, because that's something I can train while studying and it will help me all the time when studying. Make sure that you pick one. Also, the next thing is, of course, if this made you think, if this gave you an idea of something that you can do, let me know in the comments. If you liked it, make sure that you let me know by clicking that button. Also, in the comments, let me know about what you will do to make studying easier.